In the era of slavery, black people were lynched, and today they have to go through the same because structural and institutional racism are doing this job. Reports are showing that the regions in the United States where black slaves were killed are today the same regions where black people are given death sentences disproportionately. What does it mean? Well, racism stays as it was. But people in society do not know this. Just for the sake of constructive argument and keeping an open mind, ask non-black people about black people being violent as society portrays. You will see that they will start quoting questionable criminal reports where black people are deliberately put on the top. At the same time, white and other non-black people are underreported in these criminal reports. It's done so that people unconsciously construct a relationship between violence and black people. That's a dirty, systematic, and structural racial propaganda we will expose today in this video. We will also explain how this has been set structurally, using the criminal legal system to strengthen racist beliefs against black people, consciously or unconsciously. Watch this video because this is going to change how you think about the criminal legal system and black people, who are as peaceful and calm as any other citizens. Let's get started.
The Black History Archives.
The dark legacy of slavery, the abhorrent era of racist Jim Crow laws, and the heinous history of lynchings have cast a long shadow into the present day. It's because they are manifested in the troubling reality of the disproportionate imprisonment of black individuals. This troubling trend is evident in facilities like the Mississippi State Penitentiary, also known as Parkman Farm, and Louisiana's Angola Prison. Ironically, these prisons were not only built upon the land of former slave plantations, but were also structured after them, becoming symbols of an unjust past. Let's know about the reports, data, and statistics which expose racism against black people in the United States and its institutions. Number 1. More than half of death row exonerees are black. An exoneree is a person who was earlier convicted of a crime, but was later found not guilty. Since black people are convicted wrongly and given sentences based on those wrong convictions, most of them are later proven not guilty of the crimes they were arrested for. This has been proven by statistics and reports by the Death Penalty Information Center, which say that out of the 185 individuals who have been exonerated from death row since 1973, approximately 53% are black. What does this mean? Well, sadly, it means that 53% of the total individuals getting death sentences wrongly were black. Why is this so? Is there anyone who can take the courts in the United States into account and make them answerable for the dire crimes they commit daily? In reality, it's actually racism leaking from their official verdicts, which are giving wrong death sentences to black people. It turns out that throughout history, the death penalty has exhibited a glaring pattern of being unfairly imposed upon black individuals in the United States. This unjust trend persists even today, with black individuals remaining overrepresented among those awaiting execution on death row. It's disheartening that the states with the highest number of death sentences are often the same ones that were once notorious for carrying out the most horrifying lynchings. A report titled "Enduring Injustice: Race and the Death Penalty" was published by the Death Penalty Information Center in September 2020. This comprehensive report talks deeply about the historical role of race in the death penalty. It meticulously outlines how racial discrimination has persistently influenced the application of capital punishment to this day. The report deems the death penalty against black people as a tool for social control in the United States. It illustrates how capital punishment was wielded to reinforce racial hierarchies, tracing this practice back to the colonial era and tracing its dark thread through American history. Number 2. Nearly half the people currently on death row are black. In 2020, an alarming statistic revealed that approximately 42% of individuals on death row were black. It's crucial to recognize that black individuals, despite constituting only 13% of the entire U.S. population, disproportionately find themselves on death row. One argument which uses the racial criminal justice system is that it's used to portray that black people are more violent. It's incorrectly quoted that even being 13% of the population, black people get more death row. But now this should be known that it's not because black people get death sentences after fair proceedings, but because the justice system deliberately does this. Furthermore, the death penalty's application process exhibits a disheartening bias. It is significantly more likely to be invoked in cases involving the killing of a white person. Astonishingly, individuals convicted of killing white victims face execution at a rate 17 times higher than those convicted of killing black individuals. This simply suggests that people killing black people can easily get away with it and avoid a death sentence. Tracing back to 1976, when the death penalty was reinstated following a 4-year suspension, the data is starkly revealing. Nearly 300 black individuals accused of murdering white victims have been executed, while only 21 white individuals accused of murdering black victims have faced the same fate, as reported by the Death Penalty Information Center. Does this mean white criminals don't murder? Well, not exactly, but that's what they want you to know. Number 3. Black individuals lost 15,000 years in wrong convictions. As per the National Registry of Exonerations, a staggering total of 1,471 black individuals have gotten their freedom back since 1989 as they were convicted wrongly. While these individuals have managed to reclaim their release, they collectively lost a staggering 15,000 years of their lives in prisons since they first received life imprisonment. Number 4. Innocent black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of murder than innocent white people. Who can explain this? This simply tells that whenever they see a black man or woman, the authorities become more active. The inherent racism in them drives them to suspect black people more, and hence, innocent black individuals are wrongfully convicted. If it's a mistake on the authorities' part, why doesn't it apply to white people as well? Specifically, there exists a troubling disparity. Black individuals are at a higher risk of wrongful murder convictions when the victim happens to be white. Let that sink in. The data reveals a stark contrast. Approximately 31% of black individuals exonerated from murder convictions were wrongly accused of killing white victims. This is in stark contrast to the fact that only 15% of homicides by black individuals actually involved white victims, as reported by the National Registry of Exonerations. This statistical incongruity underscores a concerning trend within the criminal justice system. Here's a reminder to please support us so we can make more videos for you by subscribing to our channel and giving the video a like. We want to build a strong community and we need your support. Let's continue now. Number 5. It takes longer to exonerate an innocent black person. Let's say black people were wrongfully convicted and now, after getting years of their lives wasted in prisons, they finally are deemed innocent. But guess what? This process takes more time than exoneration of white individuals. Data reveals that innocent black individuals who find themselves on death row endure an average of 13.8 years of wrongful imprisonment before their exoneration. In other words, even if they get freedom, the racist justice system deprives them of their valuable years. What's more sad is that this duration is approximately 45% longer than that experienced by innocent white individuals. This glaring racial disparity in the duration of wrongful incarceration holds true across various types of convictions. When it comes to accusations of sexual assault, black individuals often face harsher sentences and encounter greater difficulty in achieving exoneration from a wrongful conviction. On average, they spend an additional 4.5 years behind bars compared to their white counterparts before their exoneration. Even in cases of wrongful murder convictions, the racial divide persists. Innocent black individuals unjustly convicted of murder spend an average of 3 more years in prison than their white counterparts. This duration stretches to 4 years when they are on death row. Number 6. Police misconduct occurred in more than half of all wrongful murder conviction cases involving innocent black people. As per data from the National Registry of Exonerations, instances of black individuals being exonerated from wrongful murder convictions showed a troubling trend. They were found to be 22% more likely to involve police misconduct compared to similar cases involving white defendants. In other words, police were found creating hurdles and adding more to the case so black people could be convicted. Even if they did not commit a crime, They were convicted because the evidence provided by the police became the reason. In reality, that evidence was fabricated. One glaring example can be seen in Illinois, where under the authority of former Chicago Police Commander John Burge, over 100 black men and women endured psychological abuse and physical torture. This brutal treatment coerced many into falsely confessing to crimes they were innocent of. Notably, several individuals who suffered wrongful convictions at the hands of Mr. Burge and his officers have since been rightfully set free. However, the impact of racial discrimination in wrongful conviction cases often begins long before reaching the courtroom. Racial bias in routine police encounters can set the stage for wrongful convictions and, tragically, in some cases, even lead to wrongful deaths. Number 7. About 1/3 of unarmed people killed by police are black. Out of the more than 149 unarmed individuals tragically killed by the police in 2017, a staggering 49 were black, as reported by Mapping Police Violence. This tells that the police want to end the matter before black people can reach the court and prove their innocence. A deeply concerning pattern surfaces when we look at the data since 2005. Despite thousands of police shootings, only 110 officers who discharged their weapons while on duty have faced charges of murder or manslaughter. This suggests that as police officers are not charged, they get a type of tacit approval to kill black people. One poignant case exemplifies this issue. In 2001, Philadelphia police shot Tremaine Hicks 3 times in the back. Tragically, they assumed he was attacking a woman when, in fact, he was helping her. What followed was an attempt to conceal their mistake. As a result, Mr. Hicks endured 19 years of wrongful imprisonment for a crime he did not commit. Meanwhile, the officers involved, who later faced numerous allegations of misconduct, including lying, planting evidence, using excessive force, and substantiated complaints from civilians, returned to their positions. Number 8. Black people are more likely to be stopped and searched. Here, you should understand what happens to a normal person when he gets the wrong information about black people being the threat. News and reports citing black people involved in murders and crimes unconsciously get deeper into normal people's minds. Now, even if those black people were convicted wrongfully and were exonerated, the narrative of them being violent has been created already. This creates hate and fear, which in reality is a result of institutional racism. Since police are on the higher end of racism, reports show that black individuals, Latinx communities, and people of color consistently face an increased likelihood of being stopped, subjected to searches, and unjustly suspected of criminal activity, even in the absence of any wrongdoing. Data paints a disheartening picture, revealing that when black drivers are pulled over, they are more likely to undergo searches. Next time someone says black people are violent and a threat, quote these statistics or share this video with them. What do you now think about the wrong narrative that black people are violent? Don't you think that the racist criminal justice system and authorities have abused their powers to show black people as a threat? Speak out and let us know your opinion in the comments section right below. Would you like us to make more videos? If yes, please support us by subscribing to the Black History Archives and clicking the bell icon. You can check out more videos on our channel too.